What's up, IBC students? It's another Wednesday Rewind. This Wednesday was awesome. We finished up our Spring Fling series on relationships. Brother Dennis talked about intimacy. Our worship band killed it last night. But before we do our Rewind, remember that next week, March the 24th, we will not be having Wednesday night services here on IBC's campus because it is spring break, of course. So go have some fun at the lake, go catch a ball game, go hang out with your friends. Enjoy your spring break, and we'll be back the 31st, the Wednesday after that, full steam and ready to go. Let's do a rewind.
You cannot experience intimacy in a love relationship until you have the proper intention. Until you understand your identity. Like, intimacy is the last thing to come. Intimacy has so much more to do with life than sex, okay? Let me just go ahead and get it out right there so that we can all acknowledge it and move on. Intimacy and sex are not the same thing. Intimacy is this: to be fully known and fully loved. They're fully known. They're fully exposed. Their good parts, their bad parts. Naked. They were naked spiritually, naked emotionally, naked physically, fully exposed. They were fully known, yet they were fully loved. But that is never achieved until intimacy with God happens first. For you to understand that there is a God who created you, who fully knows you and fully loves you and has designed a relationship for you, where there's a person who feels the same way about you. Rest, because rest changes a person. It energizes a person. It teaches a person. It pushes a person. It rejuvenates a person. It renews a person. And some of us have stepped ahead of that. And instead of spending time alone, resting in the arms and presence of God, we slept with somebody else. But God prepares you in the rest for you to have intimacy in a relationship in the future. You gotta learn to view somebody as God views them and not how the world's told you to view them. Cling to their wife and be joined together. This is where sex comes in. It says they become one flesh. And let me just fix our view of this and we'll be done, okay? Here's how we view this idea of sex and becoming one flesh. It's like, okay, we love each other, we're intimate, we're gonna have sex and we're gonna become intimate, we're gonna become one, like these two Legos. But we think for some reason at any point we can just pull it apart. We can break up, it'll be okay. We'll just pull it apart and we'll be two people again. Like in this moment, it's like, oh, I'm just half a block. But He completes me. Scripture right there doesn't say two halves will become whole. Or two halves will become complete. He says two wholes become one. Here's two becoming one. Two glasses of water. And when you commit to one another intimately and sexually, here's what happens. You pour yourself into one another. And the two have become one. That's why when you're intimate with someone you don't marry, it hurts. Because now you can't separate the halves. And so you break up. And instead of separating the halves, you're actually pouring out some of yourself. And then you think you find Mr. Right again. And so you pour back in. But he's not right either. And you're just pouring out yourself. And then she comes along and you think surely she's the one. But you break up and you just pour out yourself. And then all of a sudden you're wondering, why is this not right for me? Why do I not feel in love? Because this is all you have left of you. You've thought that you've separated two halves, but what's happened is you've just poured out yourself. But there can be intimacy with the person God has designed for you, even after sin. And here's how. Our culture says that we can fix our intimacy issues by having sex. But listen to me, everybody, look, make eye contact with me. Sex does not fix intimacy. Sanctification does. Again, so here's the good news tonight. You've messed up, you've ruined part of your intimacy, you can fix it. But you don't fix it by getting sexual with somebody else or sexual with the person you're with. You get it right by becoming more like Christ. Sanctification.